Hello, my loves. I am here with another weekly reading. This is pick a card format, and if you don't know how that works, we have 3 sets of cards here, and you just take a moment to look over the sets of cards. We've got set 1, set 2, and set 3, and see which one just jumps out at you, speaks to you the most. You may want to pause the video and just look at them and see which one you want to pick, but don't overthink it. You may find that you are attracted to more than one set or to all 3. That's totally fine. You might need a broader message. There's no right or wrong answers here. So just take a moment, pick your cards, and we are going to get started. And actually, before I get started, I want to say that my cats are being very rammy right now. I don't know if you can hear them in the background. If you can, I apologize. I've got one of them chewing very loudly, and then another one has this weird squeaky mousy thing that is constantly beeping and squeaking. So if you hear that, there it goes. I apologize. Those are my kitties. All right, so we are going to get started. We'll start with set number 1. These red cards are almost brand new to me. This is the Divine Feminine Oracle, and this is the first time that I am reading with them. So I'm excited to see what we get here. So we have got the Cosmic Egg, and the blurb on that says, the Divine Feminine, I hold the universe within me. I am the force of an ever-expanding love. Beautiful. 5 of Pentacles, all right. 7 of Wands in reverse. Ooh, you are feeling it. You are feeling it. And the Queen of Pentacles, okay. A friend of mine asked, when I do these readings, I read it just as a broad set of cards for these readings, so their positioning doesn't really matter to me. That's why I tend to sometimes go this way. I don't assign any kind of meaning to where these cards are for these particular readings. I just read it as a narrative. But anyway, let's go for you. For set number 1, it looks like you are dealing with some shit and you are feeling it. I see you feeling extremely overwhelmed, exhausted. You have been trying so hard. Like this, I feel like you have been putting forth so much effort, and things may not have been going that great for you. And you're at this point right now going like, what the hell? Can I just please get a break? Because you feel exhausted, overwhelmed, just tired, just ready to kind of like throw in the towel, because things have not been easy and things have been rough despite your best efforts. And I think the 5 of Pentacles showed up in last week's reading. I do a lot of reading, so I don't always remember exactly what I've had in each reading, and I don't rewatch the ones that I do. But I think this 5 of Pentacles showed up for some of you last week, and the message is pretty much the same that I'm, getting for you guys, in that, there is support out there and there's help out there, but it's up to you to reach out for it. Now, with this 7 of Wands in reverse, if you look at this little crow here, he is, here he is upright and he's defending his position. And I feel like you've been at this part right here. You've been going through some crap where you have felt like you've needed to defend your choices, defend your position, maybe defend your spot at work, or defend yourself against your family or your friends, just people questioning you. And it's not always in a bad way, but you just have felt so challenged and it's overwhelming. So you're in this spot right now where it's in reverse. And looking at this, it always reminds me of the Hanged Man. You got this little crow here just kind of hanging upside down from the wand. And remember, wands represent action and creativity, your passions. And I feel like you're just like, I've put forth so much effort and it feels like I'm not getting a return on investment right now, and I don't know where I want to go. So you're in this state of suspension because you are so tired and exhausted and overwhelmed, and you're like almost at that point where you're like, fuck it, but you're not there yet. You're taking a moment, which is good, because there's a lot more support for you than you may think. And you're being encouraged to understand that, yeah, things may have been rough for a while. They may be rough right now, and it's not going to snap and be better when you wake up tomorrow. But you have people to lean on. And whether this is you reaching out to a financial advisor or a friend, a therapist, somebody from your school or your church, or to so-called strangers on the internet. Like it's okay to reach out. You are safe to do so. You are safe to say, this is my story. This is what I'm struggling with. This is how I'm feeling right now. I'm really overwhelmed. I kind of don't think I can do this on my own right now. And I would like some help. The encouragement here is to let yourself be loved, let yourself be guided, and let yourself be nurtured. It's not weakness. It's not failure. You're not doing wrong by anybody, and you are not a burden on anybody by reaching out and asking for help. This is what you are being asked, like, to please do that, because you are deserving of that support. You are deserving of that help and that love from others, so that you can get yourself back to a point where you're feeling a little more sure and a little more confident and a little more stable. Now with this cosmic egg too, the egg features in a lot of creation stories over the last, many thousands of years on our planet. The egg is in, so many cultures in Egypt and China and India and European cultures. I mean, it really shows up in a lot of mythology, as being a source of creation. And in some myths, it is the universal source of creation. And in fact, some people believe that before the Big Bang, there was some like little egg-shaped energy form that just, imploded. However you look at it, it's just that reminder that creation and this source of, new beginnings and new life, that's all, a lot of times it is within you. And sometimes you've got to be in that dark, gooey place. Like, think about being inside of an egg. It's dark, it's slimy, it's gooey, things are hard all around you. But eventually you have to make that little pip through the egg and start chipping away at that hard layer and emerging from that nasty ass goo into something new. So right now you're in there. You are just, suspended within this, and your time to emerge is coming. Right now, you're just in that suspended moment where, things are a little hard and you're looking at things, and I'm just here to say, I'm just being shouted out. Oh my God, I can't speak. Shouted at to tell you that, you are worthy and you are enough. And please reach out. Please tell people, hey, I need help right now. I need an extra confidence boost. I would just like somebody in my corner, whether it's somebody giving you some intense therapy, whether it's somebody loaning you money, or it's somebody just standing there for you and being your personal cheerleader. Reach out and get that support. Take care of yourself. And, there's a lot in my head right now about self-care, and self-care can totally be all about setting yourself up on Instagram, taking a picture of yourself with a sheet mask and a bubble bath and being hashtag self-care. But self-care is often setting boundaries, saying no to things, not overextending yourself, not taking on one more project. Self-care is also saying, I need help. And that is the big message here. You're at this point of emergence. It's almost there. But right now, you need to take care of yourself. You need to be in your dark little gooey spot and think things over. Take care of yourself. Let other people, take care of you and nurture you, and allow yourself to be helped. So a little rough reading this week, but hopeful. It's coming. That new life, new beginning, it's there. All right, set number 2. A little pink peanut butter cup. This week has been really hard with these not this week, but this last 24 hours has been hard with these peanut butter cups, because they're the last ones in my house and I really want to eat them, but I couldn't until I did this video. All right, we have got Lakshmi, and it says, the goddess of abundance. I choose to feel abundant. Wealth is an inside job. I think a really good friend of mine picked this set, which is awesome because she's very close with Lakshmi. That's nice. All right, the moon. Cool. The Hierophant. Wow. Okay. And the Wheel of Jesus. Well, okay, so you have got 3 major arcana cards and then like this major abundant energy. Like stuff is going on, and there's a huge spiritual component here with what's going on. You are changing and things are changing for you, and I think you're in this moment right now of assessing who you are versus who you want to be. And are you doing things? Are you behaving in a way? Are you acknowledging exactly who you are? And are you allowing yourself to present, the true you, your inner self, to the outside world and to those who know you? And I think you've been hiding that a little bit. I think you haven't really been acknowledging, but right now you're being called to really bring that forth and really assess things and find out, what do you want to give up? What do you want to change about yourself? And how do you want to expand? We are in the season of Lent, for those of you who follow a Christian tradition, where you're focusing on sacrifice and, rebuilding yourself within your faith, and thinking about what others have done for you and what you can do for others. Outside of the Christian tradition, it is also, we're in Pisces season, which is very emotional. We tend to kind of be in our head and our hearts more. There's that pull between the two, and it kind of gets like all mixed up and jumbled together. There's a lot of enlightenment going on as far as our emotions and our spiritual side. Additionally, the end of March 24th, is the Aries new moon, which is the astrological new year. So we're in this part of the astrological year where it's time to assess ourselves and think about what we want for this new year. It's just like, your traditional calendar new year. As you're in December, you're thinking, wow, this last year has gone good or great, so I want to carry these things with me into the new year, and these parts sucked, so I kind of want to leave that behind, when the new year hits. It's the same thing. You're assessing and reassessing and deciding what you want to continue with and what part of you want to leave behind. I feel a lot of you are having like a spiritual awakening or a spiritual transformation. You may be changing your beliefs, or you may be deepening your beliefs. You could be like me, not like me, but you can be, blending your beliefs. Like I identify as Christo-pagan. So you could be blending different beliefs together, or you can be committing yourself to a new religion or a new spiritual way of life, or you may be shedding all of that. You might be saying, you know what, the religious life isn't for me. I don't believe in going to church anymore, or I don't believe in going to, my Wiccan circles or gatherings anymore. You may be questioning your beliefs. You're questioning your spirituality, and your place in the spiritual world, and you're moving forward and you're moving on. Additionally, I feel that you are really expanding your knowledge and understanding that you actually don't know as much as you would like. You don't know as much as you thought you did, both about yourself spiritually, but just about yourself and your place in the world. And you're feeling this energy where you want to expand that and you want to be more. And that energy is definitely there. These things definitely are changing. It's funny because we've got this Hierophant who is very, very stable and he's, this is the Pope in other decks, but he's very stable, traditional. I don't want to say conformist, but the Hierophant knows like his role. He knows how things are and how he wants things to be. And then you've got the moon, which is like a lot of illusion and like, your shadow side and the darker side of you. In this card, it's always like striking to me that instead of like the little crayfish crawling out, there's like this figure, like this dark figure that almost mimics the way, these ladies, these people, however they identify, are just kind of standing there with the hands up. it's like that shadow side of yourself, being in touch with that shadow side and knowing exactly who you are, not just physically and, in work and among your friends, but spiritually, that extra special part of you, like your soul. And I think once you're, getting in touch with that side of you, things start to fall in place, and this, like, you're feeling this abundance. And remember, abundance doesn't always mean like, oh, like it's going to rain cash on me. It would be great if it was that, but abundance is just like a very full and wealthy energy. Again, not necessarily physical wealth, but sometimes yes. But it is just that expressing yourself fully, believing in yourself fully, acknowledging your power, your strength, your tenacity, your inner wisdom, like being in touch with all of that and sharing it and being so secure in it and walking in the light like that. But for some of you, there's going to be some nice changes happening when it does come to wealth. For some of you, not for everybody. Okay, so don't like shoot me some hate mail saying like I didn't win the lottery, but I'm just saying I feel there's a small component, like separate from everything I just said, of like some sort of luck rolling in, passive income, not where you're going out and like hustling, but some sort of passive income coming for a few of you. But really, let's look at your spiritual side, look at your place in the world, and see if you're being true to your own self. That's something to definitely look at this week. All right, and last but not least, we've got set number 3. Little green peanut butter cup. All right, we have got Pope Joan. Oh, she's a fun story. 6 of Cups. Nice. Ace of Swords. Very nice. And the 4 of Pentacles. Okay, you need to let go of some stuff. Okay. All right, Pope Joan's little blurb says, the Pontiff of Possibilities. The possibilities are limitless because the soul is limitless. Exactly. You can be whoever you want to be. A story about Pope Joan is that in medieval times, she was in love with somebody. I don't remember all the details, but she dressed up as a man in order to be closer to her lover. Situations happened where she was continually pretending to be a guy, and so she started moving up the ranks within the Catholic Church, and she ended up becoming Pope somehow. They did not know that she was a woman, obviously, back in medieval times, just as today, a woman didn't have a chance to be, that kind of clergy. So she was Pope, and then she was found out because she was walking through a religious procession, as you do, and as she was walking, she gave birth. So they were like, holy crap, that's a woman. The story gets fuzzy from there. Like, did she die right after that? Was she arrested? Was she put to death? I don't really know. I think nobody really knows within that legend. There's a bunch of different theories, bunch of different legends surrounding her. But it's like, here was this woman who was like, well, I want to be this. I want to, because, I'm in love with somebody, or, I have this passion. And she changed her stars. She changed her path. She took that initiative to become somebody else because that's what suited her the best, and it's just letting you know, like, those possibilities are endless. You can be who you want to be, even if that is somebody else. A 6 of Cups and the 4 of Pentacles. I feel like there's a lot that you are holding on to and that's not serving you anymore. You really need to release it. And with the 6 of Cups together, I feel that there's a lot from the past. Something that has caused you a little bit of distress, pain, annoyance, things from the past that kind of just tend to replay in your mind, and you're unable to let go. So you're being encouraged here to start taking the steps to let that go, because once you're letting go of the pains of the past, even your own failures, even things where like things didn't work out because you so-called fail. And remember, when I speak of failure, I don't mean something negative like, oh, you did something wrong, you didn't pass, or you didn't do something right. Failure is what we need for growth. So you've had this failure, because you need to grow. It's a learning experience, but I think that you're holding on to that concept of things not having worked the way that you wanted them. And so you're like holding on tightly and not wanting to let go and not being willing to let go. But it's time to do so, because you've got this Ace of Swords here, and you've got Pope Joan and her infinite possibilities. Brighter things are ahead. There's this new beginning that wants to happen, but you really need to release. You got to let go of some of the things in the past that have their hold on you. You don't have to forget about them. You don't have to say that it's okay that whatever happened. You don't have to, give things a pass, but it's time to say, I can control how I see this situation. I can control how I view this situation and feel about it. So it's taking that control and deciding I'm going to let go of the hold that all of this has on me, and I'm going to move on. And the Six of Cups, it's like this, like, nostalgic feeling, and that feeling of things in the past. And that's why I feel that, with the Four of Pentacles in reverse, you're holding on to something that happened in the past that you need to just like cut through that bullshit and rock it out, into a new beginning. But with the Six of Cups, there's also that sense of like childlike joy and innocence. And when you're in this place where you're stuck in the past, or you're holding on to things and you're not letting go, whether you realize it or not, you're not allowing yourself to feel joy. You're not allowing yourself to feel that happiness, or just let your hair down and just have fun. And so that Six of Cups is here, and it's like, come on, let's just like have fun. Let's just like go and create something new and exciting, and just be like a kid again, and look at things with, bright eyes and a bushy tail, and be excited, and when I'm looking at the two of these together, I don't know if you can see it. It might not be obvious to you. So I'm looking at this Ace of Swords here, and the symbolism of like this sword going up here. And I see that same view right here. And I feel that when you look at things in a different light, especially like towards the past, and when you're deciding to be a little bit more joyful, or you're deciding to have just a little more childlike wonder and whatnot, that is going to like allow this new beginning to happen. Like something new is going to be born out of like the shit that you went through in the past. It's just about letting the negative hold that it's had on you crumble away, so that you can move forward and go on to this new, beautiful, victorious beginning. So let go, release. It doesn't mean that you have to forget. It doesn't mean that you have to ignore reality. I'm not like into that manifestation culture like that. But let go of what you can, release what you can, and try to make a choice to see things in a little bit of a different light, and allow yourself to feel that joy again. Allow yourself to feel protected and happy and joyful and wondrous and excited and wanting to explore, with that happy and joyful heart. But that new beginning is here. It's just waiting. It's just waiting for this to crumble away. Okay. All right. Yeah, that's all I want to say about that one. All right. So those are your readings for this week. Got some heavy stuff to uncover, which is fine. We're in that time of year. If you haven't watched all of these, I did say in this reading that we are at the end of the astrological year. The new year begins with Aries season, March 24th. So we're all at this time of assessing things right now and deciding what we want to let go of and what we want to manifest going into this new astrological year. Who do we want to be? What do we want to do? Who do we want to surround ourselves with? What's going to bring us joy in the coming year? It's really about assessing, where we've been and where we're going, and, shedding some skin if we need to. As usual, if you have any questions, if you want anything clarified, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. I'd be more than happy to answer any questions that you have. I hope this resonated with you guys, and thank you so much for letting me read for you, and I will see you next week. Bye.